The scandal that ended a dynasty? Princess Elizabeth was just 13 years old when her father, King Henry VIII, died in 1547. Very soon after, she received a letter in the mail. It was from Thomas Seymour, the brother of her father's third wife, Jane Seymour. Thomas, who was 25 years older than her, was asking Elizabeth to marry him. Elizabeth declined, and soon after moved to live with her stepmother, Catherine Parr. But right after that, Catherine married Thomas Seymour, and he joined the household as well. Based on the testimonies given by Elizabeth's governess and cofferer a couple years later, Thomas Seymour then began grooming Elizabeth with near constant sexual harassment and abuse, disguised as frivolous play. On many occasions, he entered her bedchamber in the early morning hours, barely dressed. Sometimes he actually got into her bed with her, and on 2 of these occasions, her stepmother, Catherine Parr, joined, and together they tickled Elizabeth in her bed. On one occasion, Thomas wrestled with Elizabeth in the gardens, and then Catherine held her while Thomas, quote, cut her dress into 100 pieces. Witnesses testified that Thomas would, quote, make as though he would come at her, and Elizabeth would shrink back. At one point, she wrote on an envelope, "Thou touch me not," and then scribbled it out and changed it to, "Let him not touch me." Later, as Queen Elizabeth I of England, she chose never to marry, never to have children, and consequently, the Tudor dynasty ended with her. Professor Susanna Lipscomb theorizes in an article for History Extra, quote, when she wrote, "Let him not touch me," she prophesied not just about Thomas Seymour, but about all the men she would encounter. As a result of Seymour's actions, Elizabeth knew that when a man came a-courting, he would have one eye on her and one on the throne. And she was determined not to let any of them get their hands on it or her, end quote. Check out this week's special mini-fix episode of History Fix to learn more about the abuse suffered by Princess Elizabeth and the fate of her abuser, Thomas Seymour. Only at patreon.com/historyfixpodcast.